Hey guys, Lego0 JPS here, and today we're looking at the Master Grade FAZZ from the Gundam Sentinel line. This is the Verka that was released a while back, and he's a pretty big boy. He has a lot of runners to him, mainly because you're building a double Zeta, whether it's going to be a grade version of the normal run or the full armor version one. And you're also building up the entire armor section and the mega cannon. And it's nice because now I have the double Zeta from the anime and the Sentinel version. And there is a lot of plates that come in this guy. You can build this as either, like I said, the FAZZ or the normal. There's the runners have all the parts in there to do it. I think the only difference might be is slightly in the backpack, because I don't think you have all the parts in there to do the complete one, especially for where the beam rifles is stored. I think, but yeah, you have enough parts to get to have everything, at least for the most part. Sorry, I was looking at a pinging message, pinging at me. But yeah, everything you see here right now, from top to bottom, is this a straight build. There's extra parts in there, and I'm gonna get into that. So, to cover some of the extra parts, like one of the main differences I was gonna say right now is the hands. Um, on the normal double Zeta hands, they were pegged. They was pegged, kind of like a semi-long peg, or a long enough peg to go in the hand, and then you can swap them off for shorter pegs for transformation. Or I think there was ball joints anyways for transformation. These are ball jointed because the whole full armor thing, but the normal hands still work. And these hands are the same. These are darker compared to the normal double Zeta. You also get the back of the legs. So the back section that makes up those, you can build those up, because it's just like two different sections there, as you can see. One for the thruster, and that's the other part. Because like I said, there is the parts in there for it. So you have the back section of the legs. I left them on the runners, but you also get the heels. This is a longer heel piece. You also get the normal smaller ones, and the shorter feet as well. So you don't have to use the long ones. You also get extras here on the knees, an extra piece here, another copy. Front skirts. These pieces are longer. The other one is the other one that goes on the front skirt pieces is shorter, so you get a shorter one of those. The centerpiece, where this is supposed to be for the landing gear and everything, it's a different part. You can build up the other one. So you have the option. You can put this other one in there, but this this T-shaped one, if the camera would focus, that T-shape in there is different from this one, as you can see. But you can just push this and pull that one out and put this one in there, and they still both function the same way. The arms, this whole lower section of the arms is different. It's an entirely different set of inner and outer. These purple parts here are used on either or. It's just the lower arm section that's different. But you also need the polycap in here to put into the other arm too anyways. At least so you can put them in there for the hands, because otherwise the hands ain't gonna hold in there. But you can have, this is the entire lower arm section. So yeah, you have the entire lower arm section, both of them that you can make with the shield binders, the opening part on both sides. And you can rotate this around because there's also the thruster inside. But like I said, you need the poly cap from inside there to put in here so you can use the hands or plug the hands in there. So you have that. You also have waist parts. Not wait, yeah. Side skirt parts. You see these have the clips in them because that's for the full armor, but you do have the normal ones right here that you can plug in so it's, you know, more solid and smoother. So you have those. You also get while you have those like propellant tank looking beam sabers on the back, you also have these. You have molded gray beam sabers. So two sets. There's a long and a short set. These up here do look like beam sabers because they have the handles in them. So, but I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to be, or maybe they are. I can't remember, but I don't remember if they are used like that. You also get the barrels for the beam rifle. These are the old ones, so you got everything to make the barrel part. And you also get all the pieces to do the beam rifle, but you're missing some pieces that's used for the main one because all the inner parts and everything you see here are used on this one. I think you also get a clear piece as well. You get the clear piece, but only one sticker. Because this beam rifle is like, the barrel part is like 5, 6 new pieces. There's like the 2 halves down here, the 2 halves up here, and like, I think 3 pieces inside. 2 or 3 pieces inside. So it's like 6 pieces altogether. But yeah, if you build the normal one, it's the same, except there's like an extra piece here, which is this here, which is what slides onto the arm for the when it's on full armor. The core fighters are still the same. It's the same build and mold, just different colors, so you can use either or. You get the head, and this is a completed head too. The only thing missing is the poly cap that goes in here because it's used in that one. But yeah, you have the poly cap that you can use, so you can use either head. Honestly though, I kind of like the double Zeta's head though more than the FAZZ, because the FAZZ's head is kind of long and fat looking if you look at it compared to the normal double Zetas. Look how long that head is compared to double Zetas. So you have that. You get the majority of the backpack parts, like the missiles and the frame for the backpack. The thing is, the base frame used can be used. Just gotta remove this cover for the missile rack. Take off these parts and then you can just plug them up here because most of the thrusters and other stuff is already attached on, so you just need to take the parts off and put them up here. You get your action-based connectors. You get both of them, so you got the one for mobile suit mode and the other one for G-Fortress. You also get the normal shields. I mean, not shields, the normal shoulder armor. Because the long ones is for FAZZ, but you got the short ones here. And you also get the parts that goes up here, up in the shoulder, up there. So you have those. You also have all the parts to do the chest, how you have this protruding. So you have that. You got a different kind of like chest pieces. They give you a lot of parts in here. I'm not going to go through them all, but you do have those. So just to give you a quick rundown, I'll give you a size or a 360 view with the normal double Zeta. So, like I said, here's the comparison with the FAZZ to the normal. Now, give me a second, I'm going to make sure they both stand up right. Well, double Zeta stands up. So you can see the colors. Like, the yellow is there, but you can see how the head is. Like, I showed off the head, how the heads look on them both. It also, and now, like, his sits slower, but his doesn't, so that collar in the back does not protrude. Like, you can see how long the shoulders are. The arms are the same, but you can see how the difference is how they have the armor and the wings on them, the torso, how the skirts are like longer, front skirt pieces are longer. The legs, it won't, you can notice it. It's hard to notice the legs like from the front, or the feet from the front, but you can kind of see how you can see how long they are right there, because everything is basically the same molding. Oh yeah, the like the vents on the legs, how they are shorter and don't protrude out, because can't have those protruding out. And then how different the backpacks are and the back of the legs. So you can see a massive difference here and design. So yeah, it's quite amazing though that this is like what they did with it. And the beam rifles, like I said, they are the same. The only difference is the barrel. And yeah, the full armors is much longer. So I can imagine this would be sort of similar when the normal version gets his full armor version. Can't wait for that, if they give one. And also, like I said, I'm gonna try and do this. I'm gonna do this with their left hands, because their left hands are both the same ones I used. But I want you to just take a look at this. I'm gonna fix the focus on the camera. Notice that the FAZZ is darker gray compared to the normal. That's major. And notice there's a ball joint on one and the peg on the other. And then that's the major difference, what I was meaning. But yeah, that's all for a comparison. Now we're going to get into the articulation. So, for FAZZ's articulation without the armor, your head goes up and down and a little forwards and back. And I just popped off that part of the head. I don't like that head design because it's like the normal head, and then you put this extra part on top of the high mega cannon. Also, it's a different joint in here, so it doesn't have that. It can come up and look, so you can look down further. As you can kind of see, there's this joint for the neck and everything. It's not like the other one, which kind of give it a little bit more. This one feels like it gives it less. The arms, they can rotate, but you also got to contend with the backpack. The shoulder flaps here can come up and down and all that, and it can rotate. The arm can go up this far. I want to turn this so we can see how. So you can pretty much go up that far. And yeah, have his arm look all weird. Because if I'm not mistaken, due to the thing, his arm can slide out, which is for for the armor, so you can rotate even more. And I can't remember if it's a, I don't think it's a sliding gimmick in his arms. I remember the original Double Zeta had the like a little track where you can slide the arms in for mobile suit mode or out for mobile arm for the G Fortress. Well, since the arm came off, here's the thing to note. That peg only connects into this part here, which is attached to the shoulder armor, because the arm is not even remotely connected to. It's connected to it, but it's not connected to it so much there. It's kind of connected. Hard to show it even from below. But, well, if I can get the light to work with me, which it won't. The arm is here, and there's a connection point here, which results in it being connected to this part here. And you just connect that around onto the arm, well, the connector port. So yeah, it doesn't connect to the arm because, like, even if you was to look in there, that peg is just long enough, and that port was thick enough so it locks in place in there. But it doesn't hinder his articulation at all. And yeah, that's sort of what I mean right there with the arm. As you notice how it moves and everything, that's a pretty awesome range of articulation. Also, there is like the lack of like parts here, but you do have those. The waist is just like the other Double Zeta, the normal one, because it's a Verka. You actually can tilt forward, and he can rotate. He has the side-to-side rotation. Front skirts can move, actually, because they wear their it's a ball joint here and a ball joint up here, so they can move in and out and pretty far out. So your legs can go all the way forward. There's no back skirts at all because the back part is just the backpack, so your legs can go as far back as you want, granted that you move the back skirt out the way, and well, the backpack, and you tilt it up, so he could pretty much go like all the way back. Also, because I forgot to mention, the backpack is pegged into his back like the normal, and it does not interfere at all with articulation because it rotates. The backpack and the torso rotates together. He has rotation. Well, he's on a peg. I want to say it's a peg here. Yeah, the hips are on pegs. I want to say it has that swinging motion in them as well. Because everything here is all pegs for the hips, pegs for the feet, so it rotates. That's why you said their rotation. This is a peg here, but the original one was a ball joint. But it still gives you enough range of motion. You can rotate below the hips because it's only a peg and nothing interferes. And then this is a very common occurrence that happens with them, and it's the nature of the design I blame, because even on my Verka Double Zeta, this happens a lot. But your knees are up here, and they are double jointed. he has double jointed knees because the original one did not have double jointed knees. In fact, he only had, I think it was roughly a 45-degree bend he got because it bent and it clashed right into the armor, even though there was molding for it. It went like, I think that much. Like, it was a slight bend that you notice, but you have the bend here and the bend up here. So the bend here and down there really helps it out. It may look awkward because his knee sits up higher than where his lower, where you think it should be, but it's there. It's nice to see Double Zeta with double jointed knees. Yeah, and just like transformation, you still have the whole gimmick with the transformation in his legs. The the top part of the knee armor, it moves. Ankle guard moves. The feet are on a peg, so they rotate. You can also slide out the toes and bend them down, but that's for transformation. Same thing with the heel, you can flip that in. So you can still do the transformation with this, but the only problem is you can't really lock nothing in place. That's the only sad part. These hips do feel a bit weak. Not like weak as they're gonna come off, just, weak as not secured. Oh, I forgot the arms. Arms are double jointed. So he doesn't lose nothing there, and like I said, the hands are, all the hands on this one are ball jointed. For, reasons. But you can switch them out if you want the peg ones. And yeah, the cockpit hatch, it does open. And you also have your pilot figure inside. And like I think the Gundam 3.0 did, that cockpit hatch does rotate. Well, the cockpit, the pilot seat inside does rotate, so it's not like looking down like the original one did. It's actually looking forward. Well, unless you use a core block one. No opening arm gimmicks on these arms because, these are the fixed ones. Back skirt on the backpack, your wing flaps do come up and down. They're just hinged. The thruster flaps move ever so slightly. Ball joints for the thrusters. And unlike, and you get two big ones here. Actually, these don't. They're ball jointed. They got the little side to side movement in them. They go side to side, but no up and down. Because unlike the original one where it was one big one and two small ones, you just get two big ones here. The propellant tanks, I'm pretty sure these are propellant tanks. That's what they're supposed to be. They're on ball joints, so they move all the way around at the base here, and then the top part is also ball jointed too. No, actually no, I take that back. It's not ball jointed. It's just a peg. So it's the bottom part here that's ball jointed. This is ball jointed. This is pegged, so it just rotates. And the connector point is a ball joint. Now thrusters, so this is the fun part. This is where it differs from the old one, because these new ones, these thrusters these missile pods are longer, and I have to slide them up to open them. So these are different from what the other one is. Because I think Double Zeta had like a triple set. This is just a double set, and I want to say they're about the same. And the nice thing is, these can be removed. And if you notice, there's like these little, you see, the camera will focus. There we go. Like there's those two pegs. Yeah, those two pegs is actually is kind of hard to tell, but it's really hard to tell due to the lighting and everything. But there's like a sliding track in here for these that you slide these in at an angle, and then you kind of push them in. And you know, just like the other one, it can rotate there, and it's connected at the top here, at the at that part, and it's also connected here, so it's double connected. And like I said, you can unpeg it because there's, you know, same peg each use, so you can unpeg it, and you know, if you was doing G Fortress, slide it down here, but because there's no locking mechanism, and these are not those legs for to lock into, you ain't gonna get much of anything. And with that shown with me back here, you do have a cover for the so you got that same cover for the hole there. So when it's not in use, you can cover it up. And also this little part here actually opens up. This is what locks the top to the bottom. And also, I do like the fact that this, I mean, you don't have to fight this because it's actually, it opens up and comes out due to everything else in there. So you rotate this up and these rotate, that peg will come out. So yeah, articulation wise, he's not bad. It's not bad. It's great. Even for something that's supposed to be semi-bulky, he's not bad, and he does stand up to him, you know, a Vercon. He does his job really well. So we're gonna take a look at the standard accessories that would come with the double Zeta. So for the, you know, standard accessories, and like I showed with the, and this has already been seen with the extra parts. So first off, you would get the action-based connectors. This one here is used for G Fortress, and this one here is used for mobile suit mode, and it's easy to pop in. Because honestly, I still have this one set on my other one. And as simple to put as you just slide it in right there as such. There. Slide it in, and now he's ready to go on an action base. And this is kind of starting to show my problem I have with this, so it makes me scared sometimes, is that he has no issue standing, but I feel like it's going to be the weight issues that kind of pushes him back here and there sometimes. You also get another core fighter and the landing gears. So this one is always going to be displayed like this. So it's nice you can have two core fighters, even though technically that one wouldn't even be a core fighter, that would be a core block. And then you also get the beam rifle. Now, as I showed before, you had the parts to make the normal beam rifle, but we're using the newer parts here on this one. So one of the major differences is the new barrel. And he has no issues holding this either. This thing is longer too. Those barrels are much longer because it's like two sections. And like I said, this was like 6 new parts. It's like 2 parts here. Well, 2 parts here for the point to connect here at the base. A part in the middle. 2 more parts down here. These actually 7 parts. Because it's the 2 parts here, and there's a part in here in the middle. Then there's these 2 pieces that you sandwich over these. a part here at the base for these holes, and then there's a part here you put on the end for the barrel. So yeah, it's basically it's a nice looking rifle, and I mean it's the same base design build for the twin beam rifle, but it's just newer parts. You also would have beam sabers, but because this is the FAZZ, and it doesn't come with beam sabers, yeah, you're excluded from those, even though you have beam saber handles. So yeah, technically that would be everything you would get. And pretty much this right here would be your standard double Zeta, you know, with everything. Now, whether or not you choose to make it they look like the normal, or you leave it like this, that's your call. But still, it's a completed version, and it looks nice too. And like I said, everything that was for transformation parts and everything that works still work with this one, because there's the ones for the knees. I already mentioned this one here in the at the waist. So you still have all those, but you remember we're just omitting those. So yeah, your double Zeta with those basic sections. But now it's time to take a look at the, you know, what makes it the FAZZ, and that's all of those. Plus the, the big beam cannon. So yeah, let's go ahead and get him armored up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get double Zeta here armored up. Also, I should mention one thing before I even start, and that is the manual. See, the manual itself, it will show you every part you're building, but it shows you building it as the FAZZ. So you'll build it normal and everything, and then once you get to the last part, like right here for the chest, oh, camera, please. Like the last part for the chest, then you start building up the the armor, and then you just attach it right on. And this is what they have you do for the entire kit as well. Also, I forgot to mention, you have a nice big sheet of water slide decals. It's a lot. So you can number this either 4, 5, or 6. You have all the markings and everything. So have fun if you're going to do that. So I'm going to do this in a different manner. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to detach. Oh, I need to unpeg him. And I want to detach his top half from the bottom half, because I want to do the bottom half first. So we're going to start at the waist. And the first thing we're going to, well, at the core fighter, and the first thing we're adding is these two pieces. This clip right on to the right there on the waist. So, because this is the only part that would have been shown anyway, so we're going to give it some white. Next up, we're going to attach this. This is the back skirt. So I think when I did this in practice, I had issues or a struggle trying to figure out where it connects to. But the answer is it connects here on the gray part. You're just going to slide it along the middle here in that track, and it's going to connect right in there. I believe that's how it's supposed to be. Well, let me take a quick look at the manual because I don't think the manual is too cut, dry, clear about it. I mean, they was, but not as clear cut about it. No, they are. I did right. It's in the right spot. So yeah, I did right. And this is not staying in. This one is popping off way too easy and it shouldn't. But that's the front. Well, that's this the back skirt and that. So next up we're gonna do the side skirts, which are okay, here they are. Which are these. These bad boys, and they just gonna clip in right there on the sides. And no, they do not interfere because, they're on a hinge. So technically speaking, it doesn't interfere at all. At all with the original side skirt armor. I'm going to do the front one last though because I wanted to get the legs on first. So next up is the legs, which is these big hulking pieces. It's 3 parts. And to prep them, you're first going to have to go into the legs here on the side and pop the little covers out. I did this before in test and I took a picture of it to send it to my friends, and I did this without the popping of the these little pegs out. And right now it's not being cooperative. So I need to find I need something to, pop these open. And I don't have nothing I can actually... give me a second. So I'm just gonna, pop the covers open. And I felt something pop off here. Yeah, these things pop off too easily too. Not really. I think that's the first time that actually popped off that part of the leg armor. So take these, push in, and pop them out. So you want these ones to be out. These were going to end the inner of the legs too. So, but we only do the outer legs for this. So starting with the right leg. Also, because I already got these things connected, you just pop off the front and then split them open. So, going to attach the inner part of the leg, and those little slots right there is connecting to where we took off the opened up the leg with those little covers. If I get this lined up right, there. Snaps in, and then take the middle section here and then just push that in like so. Make sure you line up your stuff. Make sure everything is tightly sandwiched together. And that's that's basically it. There we go. I don't know, for some reason it felt better when I did this without opening the legs. Because right now this is not holding in place. And actually I'm going to take the legs off. and try this again. Because everything is in place. It's tightly in place. I just don't know why it's not actually, it's tightly sealing stuff. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, so I got it right. Just, had to make sure everything lined up right. But that's the leg. And now let's do the other one. Hopefully it doesn't give me any issues. I also got to make sure that the middle part here, that this clip here kind of lines up with the slot in the middle. Because everything forms up here uniformly anyways, so you just got to make sure that everything in here connects properly. And make sure the outer parts, you actually look at what you're doing. And boom. Your armor should be snugly attached. And then when you attach this, you have a set of legs. Not the most best thing, but it's whatever. But like I said, the manual would tell you when you build the legs, you're going to turn around and build the armor right on top of it. So just be mindful of that. So now that we get that, it's time to put on the front skirt of the armor. If I can find that piece. Okay, here it is. Here's your front skirt. This is going to connect the front to the back. So you pop out that little centerpiece, and that's supposed to kind of tab into right there in the middle. So you're just going to end up kind of pushing this end over it. Like so. I can't believe I did that first try. And then you got to come to the back here. These connect into the slots on the back here. Like so, and there you go. That is the whole entire lower section. Front stickers can still move a little bit, but not much. It's not going to get moved because this piece will not move itself. But yeah, that's the entirety of the lower half. Since I want to do this right, I'm going to take off the arms. And make sure when you do take it, and make sure your arms are extended. It needs to be so. I'm going to go ahead and attach the arms. Make sure my tab is pulled out. Oh, not the arms. I'm going to attach the waist. And actually, we reattached the back as well, the backpack. So now if you notice that waist, kind of hard to, but if you can notice the waist in there, those two side pieces does kind of fill it out to make it look normal Gundamish. So next up we're going to attach this waist piece, and it just easily slots right over the chest. And it does have opening parts. I don't know why mine can't open because they always just want to pop off. But you can open them up for some missile racks. So you have like two sets of missiles. I think that was the main thing about this guy, just having a lot of missiles. So, as you can see now, his profile is already starting to look pretty big. He looks pretty bulky. We're gonna go ahead and do the right arm. No, the left arm first. So the main thing for the... Ooh, something fell. I felt it hit my leg. Oh, I need that because that goes on the left arm. I mean the right arm. So this is your left arm. Outside part. And it's a missile rack. Only that bottom part opens. So you'll end up just pegging that in there. Like so. And then you'll take two of these parts here. Gotta make sure I grab the right ones. Which I didn't, so I gotta switch one of them out. Because, you know, there's one that connects at the top and one at the bottom. And these just slides right over there. Fits snugly in. It also pegs in until there's just a little hole there. It's hard to see, but that's where there's a peg on the inside. Right there that pegs into it. And voila, there's your lower arm. But we're not done yet. You gotta do the shoulders. And yeah, I got it. That requires this. This just slots right over. Yeah, just slots right over. There's no movement of the little pieces in the shoulder arm or anything. It just slots right over, and you just peg it in like so. Actually, I think that was a bad idea to do this with the arms off. I don't know, I'm gonna try to do this with the arms off and then just, you know, slot them in there. No, actually, it's fine. It fits in there, it's just the peg kind of pushes itself in. Just be mindful of that. And yeah, with that new shoulder armor, there is a shoulder flap there, and his hand popped off. Sometimes I miss the 2.0 style hands on Master Grades. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do prefer those more than these because they don't pop off. It's like you got 2.0 style hands, and you got those hands that like Hyakushiki Sazabi New Gundam High New Gundam has. And I think Senenju has them as well. And then you got hands like these. And let's go ahead and do the other arm. Go ahead and pop on the... And the difference with this one is you have a clip here. This is used for the beam rifle. I'm gonna go ahead and push that in. And seal this all up. Kind of amazing to see how he looks with and without his armor. Like half armored up, half not armored up. But yeah, but there you have it. A folded up, armored up, double Zeta. Or FAZZ. I want to call it double Zeta because that's what it is, but it is called the FAZZ. And that's just based armored up. So you can take his beam rifle here, fold up the handle, And thank you push back that scope. There's a little clip there that you would just slide right into his arm. And this piece is molded to fit perfect and snug into his arm and hold that beam rifle. So yeah, now he's has a beam rifle in hand ready to go. I might have did wrong with the arms. If you're gonna do this, I would suggest keeping these arms attached when you pull them out. Don't do what I did for this, because I'm pretty sure the way my arms are, they might pop off a bit too easy. But yeah, he has his beam rifle. And yeah, he can use it. And that thing is long. Even with his arm down. Yeah, that's the thing, because there's not enough the peg for the arm, so don't do what I did. Oh yeah, there's definitely not. So let me fix that real. Okay, I fixed it. And yeah, like I said, don't do what I did and take out the arms and then put this up there and push it in, because the arm part is just going to slide back in on its track. So leave the arms on, put the chest on, and then do everything else. But yeah, like that, I said, the beam rifle just connected to his arm, it is almost touching the ground. But yet, we are still not done. We got one more big monstrosity to, put on him. Also, if you wanted to, if I can get this off, you can actually have him hold the beam rifle in the left hand. He has a trigger hand for the left hand too. So to do this, you're going to lift this up, turn it, and pull out. You know where we're going with this, so I'm going to slide him back, and we're bringing in this bad boy. And I'm glad this thing is molded in multiple colors, with the light gray here, the darker kind of grayish brown, the yellow, and the white. There is a sticker, and that one sticker is for the sensor. You got piping and everything. And it's like, these are wire pipes, wire plastic they used all over. So anything that's black, it's wire piping. It was like a whole plate for that. And it does have a nice aesthetic feel, so it's not going to break easily. So yeah, the only movable parts is here at the base, because it could go back and forward, but then it's also hinged side to side. You also have a handle, which is here. So you pull that white part down, and then you flip out your handle. I want to say you could build this either or. If you was to reserve, no, actually, I don't think you. Yeah, you could. You could reverse these pieces if you wanted to put it on this side. But like I said, if you're gonna slot this in, slide it in at the angle in the back, and then push it down. And once you do so, it's in there. They also recommend taking, if I can pop it off, which I can't, they do recommend taking this part off. If I take off the arm, oh, that's right, because this is not pegged in, it's kind of clipped in. So, yeah, this thing is clipped in, so they do recommend you take it off if you do plan on using this. And this is where I said that whole ball joint, the ball jointed hand comes into play. Actually, I think it's easier if I take off the hand and do this. And no, I have not done this in practice with this big thing of him holding it. So that's why I'm kind of like, doing this now. Oh, he almost had it. You just gotta angle the cannon and his arm. So yeah, you can hold it, and it's pegged in. And I know you're thinking, wait, you're missing something. Clearly, you're missing something because where is the cable? You do get the cable, and I'm not a fan of this, but I think they did the right approach with this because this is at the ends here. This is a two pieces sandwiched together to hold the cable in place. And same thing on the other hand, two pieces sandwiched together. So you take this cable, plug it in there, and then go around to this his back skirt here, and you can kind of see it there, like right here where my thumb is. That's where you plug it in at. And boom, he has a there you go, he has a working cable. And like I said, if you wanted to, you could switch the arm pieces here, switch this one to the other side. And speaking of the other side, where did his hands go? I just realized his hand popped off. Well, I'll have to find it later. But yeah, that's basically it. Is it possible? But the question is, can I still put his arm? Oh, there goes his hand. And I know the question is, can I still put the arm, put everything up there? And that answer is yes, you can. See, yeah, you can rotate his arm and still have him holding his beam rifle up there on his arm. So yeah, this guy. Oh, and don't do what I just did because the cable. No matter how much flexibility you have and everything, things can still come unconnected. Which I think I just did the worst thing and have it unconnect itself from the thing, so these are gonna pop off. But yeah, I'm gonna just take this off anyways. So yeah, as a whole, this thing is pretty nice. Would I display him like this with that big thing? More than likely, yes. Would I buy like two more to have the full set? Not likely. But yeah, I mean, it's an awesome unit. It looks great. And due to the testament of, like, time and engineering, he hasn't lost too much posability. He hasn't lost too much posability overall. Even bulked out, he's still pretty posable. Yes, he can't do too much in terms of posability in certain areas because the armor just limits him altogether. But, whatever you can get, it's a given. But I wouldn't even have him for the posability. He's just there to look awesome and menacing. So yeah, that's the FAZZ, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next review.